Yo, this is Mick Jenkins, straight from the south side of Chicago. Tune in to Hot New Hip Hop. Keitra produced the beat. I was in LA working on the album. I was supposed to link with him the next day. And he called me at like 9:30 and let me know that Nas had took my spot the next day and that I would not be able to link with him the next day. Yeah, so I convinced him to let me come through that night, and I got there like midnight. And this was like the third beat he played, and I wrote the song immediately. I wrote the first verse immediately. Second verse, maybe like an hour later, you know, and of course, yeah.
Really on the spot.
I didn't have a lot of time, and I was definitely salty as fuck. But nah, we came up with something great, and that's me and Keitra's relationship. You know, I was actually just explaining to somebody earlier is that, you know, people wouldn't know that we have not yet sat down in the studio and created anything from scratch. Like, we don't ever have a lot of time. He plays me beats, and coincidentally, like, I end up finding something that I love within the first couple of beats, and it's amazing. You know, when we get this project going, like, we'll have the opportunity to do that, and that shit, I can't wait for that. You know, but that's how Understood came about, and it was like, damn, we just did that. You know, deep conversations about language, which one you speak. A lot of niggas claim bilingual, lie through their teeth. Try to talk money, it's on the tip of their tongue. You know the feeling when the words just outside your reach, yeah. So the song is called Understood, and that's what it's about mostly. I think, you know, even on the chorus, when I say, old head hit me with the head, nah, I understood a nigga like tenfold. I think that's a riff in a game that needs to be recognized and talked about in a certain way. I think, you know, old heads versus young dudes, you know, I think most of the time it just be a misunderstanding, you know. A stuck in the ways mentality that keeps you from understanding somebody, and a dismissal of the past that keeps you from understanding people, you know. And I think that riff extends beyond hip hop into just the streets, into just life, you know, with old heads and young people. So that was the chorus. I'm sorry, but to get back to that, and that just speaks on the understanding of language. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a big thing, whether it be body language, ebonics, you know, definitions of words that could have multiple meanings, you know, deep conversations about language, which one you speak. A lot of people claim bilingual, and I don't mean necessarily like I speak Spanish, or, you know what I'm saying, like lie through their teeth, like try to talk money, it's on the tip of their tongue. You know the feeling when the words just outside your reach. And that was an example of a different language that's not, you know, of a nationality or a region, you know, like, yeah, gang shit is a different language, you know, street shit is a different language. Like, there's a whole different set of rules for how to communicate in this environment, whether it's something that is widely understood or not. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you violate one of those rules, whether you're ignorant or not, you know, there's something that comes with that. Take a few steps in, you outside your territory. Make them lean back like Terror Squad when telling stories, or even like you got the act in you. And so many different vernacular perspective and points. Went from selecting electives to collecting the coins to rejecting investments to stepping with legends and stressing acceptance to fuck it out right with my left on finessing this joint with my right to bring the light like a key on a kite. It's just a myriad of things that I've been going through to reach a place where I'm in the understanding of what I'm talking about right now, you know. Went from stressing electives from college to rejecting investments, to the position that I'm in now and labels coming at me, you know what I'm saying, to step in with legends, you know, some of the producers and rappers that I've been able to be around, and stressing acceptance to fuck it, I'll write with my left, I'm finessing this joint with my right to bring the light like a key on the kite. And it's just like, man, what I'm bringing to the game and what I have to say is so much more pressing than worrying about, you know, and did I please Static Selector? That was one of the first times I wasn't doing anything before that. And once stuff started to roll, I got in the studio. They just pushed me in the studio with Static and was like, yeah, all right, you got a 6-hour session. It was just like, I don't have anything prepared for this. Like, and then from then on, I was forced into situations where it was like I had to perform, or this person was going to think less of who they were just told I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that kind of stuff being understood and not being understood before I stepped into those places is kind of where I was writing from, speaking on that.
The roll of thunder make them pee on theyself. I see the fire, I've been drinking Freon. I'm on the corner, feel like Dion with these cowboys. Don't speak snake with these Malfoys though. No sweat on my cowboy flow. Brought the funk like an outhouse and bumps like a bounce house and spit like the beatbox, the heat rock, the Pete Rock head now.
So that's a nod to the Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. It's a book that I read at a young age in elementary school. That's just some wordplay at the end, you know. It's not, it's you could take that for face value, you know.
Pull up puffing on the endo. Chevy sitting up on the Renzos. Old head hit me with the head nod. Understood a nigga like tenfold, ayy. Tenfold, tenfold, tenfold. Tenfold, tenfold, tenfold. Old head hit me with the head nod. Understood a nigga like.
And that speaks of an interaction you rolling through, because I literally do. You know, I got a 67 Mustang. It's just murdered out, you know, and I'm rolling, and you know, the old heads show me love, like say something, give a head nod, talk to me when I'm at the light, you know what I'm saying, like, because that's from their era, you know, I understand that, but even that is symbolic of like an exchange of understanding, you know what I'm saying, like when it's not too much word said, and that can be indicative of a lot of things, even though that's the moment that I'm describing in the chorus.
We say a lot to say a little, and sometimes we say the most and we ain't really saying shit at all.
That's just so powerful, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the language that I was speaking about, you know? And a lot of people don't even have the discernment to see what somebody might be trying to tell you with what they're not saying, you know? A lot of people get frustrated by that type of communication, you know?
Cottonmouth, I swear I spit it all. I spit it all on the paper. I'm twisting all of this paper. I'm spending all of this paper for retail therapy.
And now I'm talking about some of the things that after telling you I spit it all, I go right into some of the things that I'm dealing with, you know. I'm spending all of this paper for retail therapy. Brim low, they still could tell it's me, you know. That's in the store, you feel me? Like, and for real, that shit is picking up. I don't know why, but like, I'm getting recognized outside of Chicago way more in the last couple months than ever before, you know.
Brim low, they still can tell it's me. They say they want the kid in Tel Aviv. Now what that tell the world? I know you smelling me.
It's funny I said that because I actually know people do not understand what that means. But I was asked to play a show in Tel Aviv, and they're having, I think, apartheid-like issues over there, and the people that we were playing for were the oppressors in the situation. And we were like, well, I can't go play a show, you know, for them. I feel like it would be in support of what's going on over there, you know what I'm saying?
My fingers recently wrestled the Evergreen. Been 100 proof, the message is ever clear. Speaking for the crew, I'm playing Miss Everdeen, peculiar.
And that's the thing, you know, so my fingers recently wrestled the Evergreen, been 100 proof, the message is ever clear. That's a play on liquor, but, you know, still talking about, you know, I've been thorough, I've been the same way, I've been on these same issues since as long as I can remember. Been 100 proof, the effort is method clear. Everclear. Speaking for the crew, I'm playing Miss Everdeen. And to say peculiar right after, I'm a Christian, you know, I read the Bible. God calls his people a peculiar people. And to represent the crew, you know, what I represent with Miss Everdeen, Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, I studied Miss Pedigree. My pedigree, Duke Nukem, yo, you can but just let it be.
Duke Nukem is you know Duke Nukem. Yeah, Duke Nukem is an old video game character with these huge ass boots. Yukonuba is the dog company, whatever, the competition shit. Yeah, just saying funny way of saying I'm stumping out your dogs.
Falling out of harmony, we singing different melodies.
And here I'm referencing like other relationships. The end of the second verse, I'm referencing other relationships that I've had with people personally where a misunderstanding is really the rift that grew, you know.
Really ain't spoke the same language in a long time. Both like to claim it's only cause the different latitude. Long lines of shows got me distant with my attitude. A matador, I know you mad at me, I ain't even mad at you. I could be mad, but
it just be those things are rooted in misunderstanding. So it's like, you know, speaking specifically to those situations, only those people will understand. But a matador, you know, I'm putting some shit in front of you and then taking it away, you know. And I feel like that's what certain people might have felt like with the way things were handled, you know what I'm saying? Like, I showed you some shit and now you can't have that shit because our relationship is distant, you know what I'm saying? I know you mad at me, but I ain't even mad at you, you know? And it just speaks to, like, you probably think that, I know you think that I feel a way that I don't feel, you know? And because of the way things happen, and it's, like I said, it's just speaking to a misunderstanding. So all of that, and much like the album, you know, there's a lot to unpack from the song, and I could get into a longer conversation about some of that shit, but there's a lot to unpack, and overall it's about, you know, just an addressing and a speaking on understanding and language in the different ways that you can communicate, and the considerations people should have about that shit, for sure.